From a legend who had never won on the Elite Series
Looking good! Gets it done!
to a first-time Bassmaster winner
Brett Meyer!
to stop 3 for 2016. And it will be a first here as well. First to win an Elite event that plays out over not one, but 2 lakes.
Oh, stay on there!
Twice the challenges, twice the opportunities.
Yeah!
Whoever wins here will be the champion times 2. Third stop of the year for the Bassmaster Elite Series 2016. Welcome to Toyota Bassmaster Studios. Tommy Sanders here with Mark Zona. We're going back to Bull Shoals and another lake, Lake Norfork. We'll talk about those 2 lakes and how they work together. But basically something completely different from what we've seen so far. We were down in Florida, we went up to South Carolina, now we're in an upland reservoir situation.
No doubt about it. Really coming off of the Winyah Bay tournament. Look, these guys are going to catch them in a big way. And really, with the format that we're going to break down for you, the anglers that we cover week in and week out, they are going to be on very uncommon ground as far as how they prepare for this event.
That was what I was going to ask you about, the differences in preparation for something that, well, we might as well lay it all out for you as we take a look at our Yamaha Unlock the Lake here. 2 lakes, Lake Bull Shoals, which we've been to before a couple of times with the Bassmaster Elite Series, but a sister lake, no more than 30 miles away, Lake Norfork, smaller. You'd think they'd be exactly the same.
And they're fishing completely differently this week. You look at Bull Shoals, just a lot of rock and a lot of buckbrush in the water. That being said, it's still Bull Shoals, tons of bites.
All right, here's where we start though. Lake Norfork, about 25,000 acres to the east of our host city of Mountain Home, Arkansas. None of those bushes, none of that buckbrush,
No.
a different look.
Really, it's a similar lake, but it just doesn't have all of those bushes. And if you talk to the anglers, these lakes could not fish any differently right now.
That's Lake Norfork. That's day 1 and day 4, the big finale, in between 2 days on Bull Shoals.
Exactly right. And here's the deal with Bull Shoals. This time of year, they are living shallow, they're up shallow. You better bring your A game.
When it came to weigh-in time, day 1 on Lake Norfork, here was the man right here from Alabama, Matt Herren, 17 pounds, probably a little more than some of those who were making predictions predicted for production on Lake Norfork. A good day for Matt Herren, who started the season slow, St. John's River, but had a good tournament last time at Winyah Bay.
So day number 2, we're going to head over to Bull Shoals. And now check this out. Matt Herren said he had over 100 fish mark that were spawning over 4 pounds. But here's the problem. He spent way too much time sight fishing, really slid down the standings. 11 pounds, 6 ounces total, dropping him all the way down to 8th place.
Well, the one who figured out Bull Shoals Lake was Chris Zaldain, coming in here in 3rd place, so he had a good start, but then improved at Bull Shoals.
That's a good one. Stay on there. Stay on there. Uh-oh, it stopped moving. Still moving. Just keep my rod tip up high. Look at that bush. Oh, stay on there. Oh, stay on there. Here, baby. Yes, that's a good one. Yes, that's a good one.
Get a little West Coast love there. Drop shot in a 6-inch hand-poured worm. Really kind of just blind sight fishing all this buckbrush. Where Zaldain said, man, if I can just visualize where they'd be spawning, that's where I would get my bite in the brush. And he definitely showed up at the day 2 weigh-in.
5 fish, all alive, 14 pounds and 12 ounces.
Chris Zaldain having a fantastic start to his 2016 season. Day 2 weighed 14 pounds and 12 ounces. That's going to be good enough to put him right up into the lead, but he would be tied.
Better day today. Looking for 17.5 to take the lead. 17 pounds, 4 ounces.
Bill Lowen ringing in with 17 pounds and 4 ounces on day number 2. On Bull Shoals, a great day that ties him for the lead with Chris Zaldain. Bill Lowen, who had such a great Bassmaster Classic to start the year off. Keith Boucher, haven't seen him in a top 10 in a while. Adrian Avena, his first appearance in the top 12 with us. Randal Tharp trying to turn things around this season and on all the way down through. Carl Jochimson, Matt Herren having a good season all the way down through. 12th place, Brandon Palaniuk, a former winner here. We'll get going with day number 3 when we return.
The Bassmaster Elite on Bull Shoals Lake and Lake Norfork is brought to you by GoPro, Nitro. Toyota. And by Berkeley.
Bassmaster Elite Series stop number 3 in this 2-lake tournament. Bull Shoals and Norfork, and for the leaders here, ready to start day number 3 on Bull Shoals. It's a matter of just hang on and get back to Norfork for the finale, especially if you did well there to start.
Being tied for first place going into day 3, couldn't ask for anything better. Here on Bull Shoals, I'm just trying to hang out and just be in contention going to that last and final day. That first opening round on Norfork, I established a pattern that was absolutely killer, so really looking forward to getting after that. Just have to get the job done here today, catch a limit of 3-pounders, and you know, find out where we end up going into tomorrow.
And really, here's the beauty of Bull Shoals that's different from Norfork. If you take a look along the shoreline, there is no lack of cover. This is a target-rich environment, and the drop shotting display that Chris Zaldain put on day number 2 was masterful. Everything he put on the scales came on that drop shot. And really the other side of this is Zaldain was one of the anglers. If you look at some of his fish catches here on day 3, he was one of the anglers that was solely concentrating on getting back to Norfork. He said, I saw what I need to win this event over on Norfork. Yeah. With that being said, he's put on a pretty magical performance here on Bull Shoals.
Yesterday, about 200 or 300 yards up, I saw a big one, 4 or 5 pounder, just hanging out in a little pocket. So I gotta assume there's a bunch of those just hanging out. So it's like hurry up and slow down, and I just, again, with the drop shot. Shade, I think. I mean, shade is gonna be where they're at. Big one, stay on there. Stay on there. Yeah! Woo! Yes! That one helps.
Chris Zaldain, he talks about wanting to get back to Norfork. He's doing very, very well on Bull Shoals. He's settled in here in a big way, so Chris Zaldain holding down that lead spot. Another guy having a good day out here. Randal Tharp, who did exceptionally well also on Norfork Lake. Knocked out 15 pounds and 8 ounces there. Day 1 here at Bull Shoals. He got 13 pounds, 12 ounces, so he's on to something pretty good as well. In fact, the whole season he's been on to something pretty good. He's had the best season so far. He is the leader, which you can see right there in Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year points as of this day. But he's got some company as well. You can see the other names on that list, including Greg Hackney and, of course, a Chris Zaldain.
Exactly right. Really, Randal Tharp, let's just call it like it is. One of the best shallow water fishermen on planet Earth, okay? And here on day number 3, here's what makes him dangerous in this event. He is throwing one bait. He is throwing a jig, and that is it. The thing is, usually a jig is not a numbers deal. That is not the case for Randal Tharp. This guy is catching 40 to 60 bass a day. And, well, doesn't sound like it. This guy has it figured out.
Yeah, I don't know if you call it much of a plan, but I've been catching all of my fish on both lakes on these channel swing banks. Really shallow, like I think some of them are spawning. You know, I think this is just where they live on these lakes. But yeah, I mean, I've covered, you know, pretty much half of the back of this creek this morning, and I've made a flip every 2 to 5 feet. And you know, there's 4 fish in that box to show for it. So I think that just being a touch stained water makes a big difference.
There he is. God almighty. Yeah! Boom! Yes! Biggest one I've caught the whole time I've been here. Yes! Woo! That'll make up some ground right there. She wasn't coming off either. Yes! We're gonna be fishing on the final day. Yeah! Feels good.
Sanders, I'm gonna say it. Thus far, that is the fish catch of the year, on a day of the week.
Got him pretty excited, and why not, Randal Tharp? How about our first look at the year at Adrian Avena, a rookie by name, but guy with a pretty decent resume. In fact, an impressive resume as he comes over from the FLW Tour. This is a young angler who can get the job done. Had a great day number 2 here on Bull Shoals.
I'm fishing totally different in both lakes. Norfork, I'm fishing a lot of smallmouth. And over in Bull Shoals, I'm strictly targeting largemouth. Good one. So for me, it's a lot different. But the one similarity that I am finding is I'm catching them on a swing bait.
Dude, the female's a giant. This is just the male.
And I'm also catching them sight fishing. So if I can just balance those two and put a good day together, I'm looking forward to possibly fishing on the final day.
Yes! Yes! Come on, give me some, baby. Give me some.
Nice.
Yes! Inside the mouth. Yes! See that? Just they're paying. Another solid one right at the end of the day. Sucker was being stubborn, but we got her. Yes!
Adrian Avena trying to match his effort on day 2. Bull Shoals and make it in on day number 3. Make it into the top 12. That's what we're going to decide at the weigh-in. But the first order of business from out of nowhere, Skeet Reese.
19 pounds, 2 ounces. The biggest bag of the tournament belongs to Skeet Reese with 44 pounds, 13 ounces. Skeet Reese moves into 3rd place. 14 pounds and 4 ounces with 45 pounds and 2 ounces. Chris Zaldain once again moves to the top of the leaderboard. 16 pounds, 4 ounces with 45 pounds, 8 ounces. The Honey Badger, Randal Tharp, takes the lead.
So Randal Tharp leading the way of the 12 anglers who will fish on Championship Sunday. Again, we're going back to Lake Norfork, where we started for that day. And right behind him, Chris Zaldain. Skeet Reese, of course, with the big weight today, 19 pounds plus. And there, Adrian Avena, who we just saw, he made it into the top 12 as well. But all of these guys, especially the top 2, feeling pretty good about their chances at Norfork.
We're in the hunt, man. We're in 2nd place. I'm fired up. I'm ready to get back on Lake Norfork because I left them biting.
Tomorrow there's just 12 of us and it's a relatively small lake. It's real manageable and I think it's going to fish really well tomorrow.
I'm actually a little more excited because I was thinking if I made it to tomorrow, I wasn't going to be in contention, but because I had 19 pounds, now I'm actually in contention to win this thing.
Going into day 4, the top 12, it's an absolute shootout. Skeet Reese is hot on my tail. I'm hot on Randal Tharp's tail. It's gonna be a race to 20 pounds.
All right, our 12 getting ready to go. First thing on the final day, day number 4. And usually on day number 4, we welcome you into the Shell Hotel, a Bassmaster garage. Mark Zona, we usually have a better idea, although you wouldn't know it sometimes, of what's going to happen because we've been on that lake for 3 days solid. We haven't been there in 2 days. What is going to happen?
It's weird. Championship Sunday is almost like the first day of a tournament. These guys going back to Norfork. And the other side of it is, what more could you ask for? 3 of the best shallow water anglers, Herren, Lowen, Tharp, against 2 of the best swim bait fishermen on planet Earth, Zaldain and Reese.
We've got to get started early this morning. It's 6:15, the shad are spawning. We've got to capitalize early. Cold throughout the day, solid all throughout the day. Goal's real simple. You could easily go out and catch 40, 50 fish a day. We're looking for 7 or 8 bites in the big ones. That's all we're looking for. Going to swim bait all day, baby. California style.
Zaldain said on day number 1 here in Norfork, he saw exactly what he needed to see. Saw a lot of giant bass following his swim bait. Not making a real long run this morning, about 1.5 miles. And here's the beauty of the morning on Norfork. There is a major shad spawn, and this first hour to hour and a half window will be critical for anybody throwing a swim bait.
Oh my gosh, dude, every single cast I'm getting like a school of shad following my stuff up. It looks like an Alabama rig. That's a good one. Stay on there. That's a good one. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Woo! That's a good one. That's number 1, baby. Catch them all like that. Yeah.
go. That confidence going right off the bat.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, we're gonna tear my boat up today, bub. We're gonna tear it up today. We're gonna stay in that clear water. Everyone else is targeting that dirty stuff. We want those big main lake suckers, man. Those single fish. I don't care about the schoolers. I don't care about the millions of 2-pounders in the backs. Just main lake stuff. We're targeting all main lake stuff.
Chris Zaldain laying out the plan, laying out his vision of the ideal day. His final day, championship day on Lake Norfork. He's going to have a pretty good day. He's not starting very far behind the leader, Randal Tharp, but he's another one of these guys that could not wait to get back to Norfork Lake because he's seen something special here himself.
You know, the first day at Norfork, it was one of the best flipping days I've ever had as far as just numbers of bites on a big jig, and started catching the fish over here. And, you know, over here I'm not getting a quarter of the bites. I had 12 bites yesterday, but you know, at the end of the day, as long as I get 5 and get them in the boat, I'm gonna be pretty happy. And you know, I'm pretty happy when this rod's in my hand anyways. And everybody caught them at the same time yesterday. There was these little flurries, like I caught them. Everybody had their limit about 11 or 12, you know, o'clock.
Really, if you watch Randal Tharp early this morning on Norfork, here's the interesting thing about day number 1. As you just heard Randal Tharp say, I caught 40 to 60 bass, but that's a loaded statement because here was the problem. There was not a lot of fish like that were 2.5 pounds and bigger. He caught a ton of 2-pound fish, but really his limit was void of those kicker bites. To win this tournament today, Tharp will need those bigger females.
All right, well, Randal Tharp, we're going to go over on Lake Norfork, over to Skeet Reese, who shocked everyone yesterday, coming in with a giant bag the second day at Bull Shoals, over 19 pounds.
Oh, I caught a 7-8 keepers off this bank first day. This bait here, I think, just sets up good that whether they're spawning or what they're doing on this stuff, but this crankbait looks like a bluegill. So I just think I'm just creating a reaction strike. Instead of just fishing slow, I'm burning it over them. And just, yeah, it's a pure reaction bite.
Solid fish right there for Skeet Reese, and really Reese and Zaldain, they're going to be doing the power winding, whether it's swim baiting or cranking. And the one thing that we will have later the day that will play into their hands is big wind.
Based on what he did on day number 3, and based on who he is, that's probably thought of as the most dangerous man in the field right now. We're going to see how it plays out. Plenty more fishing to come on the final day here at Lake Norfork.
Catch a hog, Skeet.
Look at that.
Some of these guys like Kreiger and Powroznik, you know, have eagle vision. And then you got, you know, a couple California guys right by me, Skeet and Chris. I mean, those guys, you know, with their big swim baits and all that crazy stuff they do, you know, it's anybody's game.
The Bassmaster Elite on Bull Shoals Lake and Lake Norfork is brought to you by Hook, Yamaha, and by Skeeter Boats.
Back with you, championship day, day 4 on Lake Norfork. This tournament playing out over 2 lakes. Day 1 was on Norfork. We went over to Bull Shoals. We're back at Norfork for the final round with 12 anglers out there. And Matt Herren's a guy who started on fire on Lake Norfork. He was the leader after day 1 with 17 pounds.
Not only that, had a big 6-pound kicker on the first day of this tournament. And Matt Herren is getting a lot of bites on this final day. Getting bit is not the problem for Matt Herren. It's just catching those better than average fish here. It is a mile between a 2.5-pound to 3-pound bass here. And like I said, Herren getting bit, but he needs to upgrade. He needs to upgrade very soon.
They eating fire out of some crawdad. Man, I feel like I'm missing something. I'm overlooking something. I could get more bites on, or better bite, I don't know. and maybe there's not. The wheels are turning, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm gonna fish a stretch of bank. It'll take us a little while. It's a long stretch. Outside of the 6-pounder, the biggest fish I caught Thursday was on this bank. I don't remember where, but it was somewhere between here and up yonder. Boy, you can fish as slow as you wanted to down through here, and it could take you forever to fish this bank. All you can really do is hit the high points. You start getting bites and you slow down, pick it apart, but other than that, you just gotta keep moving, man.
Matt Herren, limit in the boat, but he's looking to upgrade. Same story. Randal Tharp, he has done his work this morning as far as the limit goes.
I'm happy with the start. I mean, the first day of the tournament, we had blasted off at 8:30. It's only 8:52 and there's 5 solid fish in the boat, I'm really pleased right now with where I'm at. I'm not catching 4 and 5 pounders to win today. The guys are just too good behind me. I haven't had to make any big adjustments other than just running some new water, trying to key on what I've been keying on. I mean, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, if I drop that thing enough times, eventually it's gonna land in front of a 5-pounder. I got a lot of people watching me today. I think some of them have left, but one of them told me, I was ripping down the bank, man, like as fast as I could go. And one of the guys just yelled out, "Slow down, fool."
Randal Tharp has kind of lived in the same region of this lake area known as Bennett's Bayou, and really what he's been concentrating on is these steeper banks. And the funny thing is, you can cover 100 yards, not get a bite, and then lights out.
These fish on these lakes this time of year, they'll pull up in these little bluff walls, and there's these little pockets where the timber stacks up, like when you get a big rain or something. And dude, those largemouth love it. Yeah, day one, I had a solid sack of fish already, but I was easing down through here. And I pulled my jig out of the water, and it was 3 feet out of the water probably, and looked like a solid 3-pounder almost jumped in the boat trying to get it. And it scared everybody to death, including the people out behind me watching me. So maybe today she'll go ahead and decide to eat it. Yeah, well, cool. Looks a little fatter than maybe some of those that's in there. I said it this morning before takeoff. I mean, it's probably the best 100 bass anglers that's ever fished against each other. Steve Kennedy and Skeet in this top 12 dude, those guys were making a living bass fishing before I ever had a boat. To be leading angler of the year and fishing against those guys today is pretty awesome. Half a pound maybe.
Randal Tharp kind of putting things in perspective for this final day. The 12 who are out there, another one of the 12 we've not had a look at so far in our show yet. Jacob Powroznik had a relatively slow day to start day 1 on Norfork and looking to do better after lighting it up on Bull Shoals days 2 and 3.
You get a look at how clear the water is that Powroznik's concentrating on, not running far from our takeoff. Look, we've got some of the best shallow fishermen, swim bait fishermen in our top 12. Well, he's one of the best sight fishermen on planet Earth. And really, he said the biggest key in this tournament was downsizing his line, going to 6-pound line. After he did that, it made a world of difference.
Mean one. Pretty. That's 4. Actually, in my opinion, we got none. Thing is, you just stay off of them, they'll bite,
might get on a roll here in a minute.
Jacob Powroznik not having any trouble catching them today, just catching the ones of the size he needs. Again, everyone starts so close today, weights-wise, one of the tightest tournaments in recent memory. We're going to take a break right now. Before we leave, take one more look here at Matt Herren.
This old creek right here has had the snot beat out of it. I think about half the top 10 was in here Thursday. I am going to have to catch a big one or I ain't got a prayer. So lake this don't give up a lot of big ones, so it's hard to make up ground. But I did it Thursday, I'll do it again somehow.
It's like old Matt's still helping me out on my banks. He's right on my best spot right there by looking at my dots. I'm thinking about just cranking up and going right in front of him.
Come on, I'll put my life jacket on.
Really? Watch this. I gave him a half a freaking mile. Sit down.
We're back for final day action, Bassmaster Elite Series. This tournament, this two-lake tournament, started out on Lake Norfork in north central Arkansas, went to Bull Shoals, back to Norfork. When we left you, well, the lake sometimes gets a little small on the final day, and two anglers getting a little bit scratchy out there.
He's right on my best spot right there by looking at my dots. I'm thinking about just cranking up and going right in front of him.
Really? Watch this. I gave him a half a freaking mile. Sit down. That could be the one right there. That is the one. Yes! Yes! We gonna play this? I give you a half a mile down there. What?
If you fished in here, I didn't see you the first day, dog. Why are we playing this game? I'm trying to win 100 grand.
I gave you a half a mile down there.
One day you'll be leading one of these things and have a chance to win, and I'll get you back.
Big boy. See that right there?
Show the camera good. So the 100,000 people watching know what you did.
I gave you a half a mile, and you come up there and slid in front of me 100 yards.
I slid ahead of you 100 yards.
Dude,
how do you figure?
The tape.
Who was running this bank first, me or you?
Hey,
you weren't here.
You want 3 miles of it?
Look, dude, I ain't mad. I'm just gonna fish. But this is where I'm gonna fish, right here. If you want to fish here, you come up here and I'll leave. Okay? Come on up here and fish in front of me.
You the one that started the crap.
No,
you want to be a smarty down
that's
there.
not true, Hammer. That is not true.
Look here, that's what you get right there. He's in the box.
We'll see at the end of the day, shooter. We'll see.
Yeah.
So that boat was in here on day one? I don't think so, because these boys was here and they didn't see you. I didn't see you.
There's things you don't do.
He's still talking back there. You know, he was freaking on that. He wasn't on that bank at all.
I don't know where the hell he was Thursday from. Hell, I don't know. I guess I'm just supposed to move out of the way and let you win. No. Randal is an intense competitor. I will give him credit for that. That dude gets serious. And I got no problem with that.
Well, a little bit heated, but as crazy as it sounds, these guys actually just basically hashed it out.
Absolutely. Let's go over to Chris Zaldain right now. Started the day catching him, doing something completely different from what we see Randal Tharp and Matt Herren doing, but started out the day on the shad spawn and doing well.
Exactly right. He has lived with a swim bait. Back when we were on Bull Shoals, he locked a drop shot in his hand and was a magician with it. And here on this final day, a big fish bait, a big fish technique. Yes. He's got the bites, and he's seen some big ones, but definitely he needs bigger ones in his live well.
Big one. Oh, stay on there. Stay on there, stay on there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, woo! Yes! Those are the kind we need, yeah! Gonzo, dude. Like I said, it's a race for 20 pounds. 4 more bites like that, then you got 20 and you win. Yes! That's an old fish, dude, you can tell. Look at all the wounds on that thing, all the black spots. That's an old Ozark fish, man. Yeah! Those are the kind, dude.
Chris Zaldain seeing just what he needs to see to lift his spirits, get things pumped up a little bit for a final push on this final day. A lot of people around him. Skeet, Reese looking for a place that's a little less crowded.
There's got to be more than one section of the lake that's got better quality fish, and so we'll see if there's something down here, but this is all new territory to me. This water here is a lot cleaner than anything else, so I'm thinking we're going to run even further back up in this thing, and maybe not. I might actually call one. Mock call, I know that, yeah, that's just covered like another 100 yards of shoreline. And usually when there's one, you find the area they're in and you might catch 2 or 3. That feels like a better fish. Oh yeah. Yeah, boys! Look at that! Look at that! Ah! Those are the kind we need right there. Wow!
So Skeet Reese, who started the day less than a pound behind the leader, Randal Tharp, doing his very best to hang in there, be a part of that top part of the leaderboard as we get back to Randal Tharp, who, as you pointed out, is doing exactly the same thing, at least bait-wise, that he did at Bull Shoals.
Exactly right. One weapon. He has been flipping a jig almost the entire tournament. That's going to be the Skeeter Boats Taste the Bait this week, and it's really, man, it's a little bit complex. He has started this tournament with a 1/2 ounce 4x4 jig with a zoom trailer on it. His boat's sitting in about, call it 9 to 12 feet of water, flipping up to the bank, and a lot of those bites come in about 1 to 4 feet of water. But every single day, Randal Tharp has laid down that 1/2 ounce jig for a 5/8 ounce jig. And just that slightly faster fall has accounted for some of his key bigger bites every single day.
Norfork and Bull Shoals are probably my 2 favorite Ozark mountain lakes that I've fished, and I've just about fished them all now. So, but how many tournaments have you ever won on 2 different lakes at once? So, heck, dude, winning, I mean, you only get 1 trophy, but technically you've won on 2 different lakes. So 2 more lakes I could chalk off the list, you know. Boom! Yeah! Yes! That one's definitely gonna call, boys. Yeah! Thank you, buddy. Yes! Couple more bites like that, boys.
Some key fish catches today for Randal Tharp. You heard him talking. The prospect of winning this one could scratch 2 legs off his one list for the whole United States there, but only 1 trophy today. Randal Tharp's going to try his best to be holding on to that when it's all said and done.
It's really tight. You know, it's probably going to come down to who gets that big bite this week. Pounds and ounces are hard to come by here. You know, there's a lot of 2 to 3 pound fish. 4 pound bite's going to be premium.
The Bassmaster Elite on Bull Shoals Lake and Lake Norfork is brought to you by Humminbird, Mercury, Minn Kota, and by Triton Boats.
Bassmaster Elite Series final day on this 2-lake tournament. Lake Norfork and Lake Bull Shoals. In between them are host city Mountain Home, Arkansas, right here in the heart of North Central Arkansas, a place where bass fishing makes people happy. It's certainly making Randal Tharp happy today.
I'm in that little happy place every fisherman wants to be in, especially on the final day. Boom! Yes! Remember me telling you about that happy place? I'm in it right now. That's better than 3 pounds.
Well, not only that, I'll tell you what it's time for.
What?
Nugget.
Good.
Hey, man, seriously, for all you jig fishing fans, just that slight change, going to that little bit heavier jig, critical late day calls right now for Tharp.
Absolutely. Randal Tharp did it textbook today. Bought himself a good limit, early solid limit. Yes. But boy, the upgrades he has made today have made all the difference as he looks for the victory. And Skeet Reese, probably his closest pursuer at this point, doing something completely different. Skeet Reese in the final couple of hours in this tournament may have tapped into something that may produce some big results for him.
Oh. Yeah.
I think that calls a fish right there.
Whew. Skeet Reese, everybody's watching this guy on this final day. A little progress, making some key upgrades himself. Skeet Reese again started this day less than a pound behind Randal Tharp. Matt Herren in 5th place, but maybe he's got something figured out himself in the waning moments of the tournament.
Kind of funny. I mean, I'm all dialed in. I got the jig color, know right what I'm going to do, where I'm going to do it. Get over here this morning, they won't hardly bite it worth a crap. And I have caught them, but not enough. There's one in a big one. Come here. Come here. Come here. God.
Matt Herren, one of his best of the day, late in the day. On the final day, all the 12 out here doing their best to keep the pressure on the leader, Randal Tharp, who's been doing his job all day long as well.
My hands are still shaking. Spray a little juju on here. If I ever quit shaking, I'm gonna quit fishing. I mean, you gotta do what works best for you. I mean, there's some great jig fishermen probably think what I'm doing is crazy, but you know, this season with our schedule, it's afforded me the opportunity to fish to my strength a lot. You know, that's one of the reasons I'm probably leading angler of the year. I mean, I haven't had to have a whole lot of rods on my deck this year. Dude, we're still looking for that one to put this thing away. I don't know if you can see it. There's bluegill all up on them rocks. And the only reason them jokers is up there is because Big Daddy's right down below the rocks. I've seen this scenario a few times.
That's her. That's her, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Yes! Thank you, Jesus. Yeah!
We're done, guys. Wrap this thing up. We're going in.
Yes!
You have to say it. I mean, number one, what a hot mess of a final fish catch in the
my
final
word.
3
How about
minutes
that?
of the tournament. Randal Tharp with a huge
How's that one for a
upgrade.
laugh?
Oh, a big one. He's had some key fish. We've said this before all day long, just making the right ups. He's a little keyed up. I think he's a little excited at the prospect of winning his first Bassmaster Elite Series event. 11 other anglers have something to say about that as we head to the weigh-in.
Get loud from Brookville, Indiana. Skeeter Yamaha Pro, $1 Bill Lowen. 14 pounds and 10 ounces. Your brand new leader, $1 Bill Lowen. And let's keep him rolling through. He is a 6-time Geico Bassmaster Classic qualifier. He led day number 1. Get loud, ladies and gentlemen, from Asheville, Alabama, Matt Herren. 14 pounds, 15 ounces. He is a former Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year and the 2009 Geico Bassmaster Classic Champion. Get on your feet for Skeet Reese! He's 44 pounds, 13 ounces, looking for 13-14 to take the lead. 14 pounds and 11 ounces. All the way from San Jose, California, get Zaldain's for Chris Zaldain. 13 pounds and 10 ounces. Chris Zaldain has had an incredible tournament. Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. He's a former Forest Wood Cup champion, 3-time Bassmaster winner, Geico Bassmaster Classic qualifier. He's leading Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year and trying to get his first Elite Series title. Let me hear it for Randal Tharp. Side by side, we're going to decide our winner here. Looking for 14-1. 16 pounds and 2 ounces. The Honey Badger hammers them on Championship Sunday. Mountain Home, Arkansas, let's hear it for Randal Tharp, your champion.
Randal Tharp set out to engineer a comeback this season. I think he's done just that. He's won himself one, and he's also the leader Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. And Mark Zona, you said this before we even started here. You said at the end of this one-time deal, special thing, there'd be a bunch of guys that didn't like it a bunch who did. I know of 12 for sure who wound up liking it.
I'd say that guy right there liked it quite a bit. And not only that, really, when we kicked off the show, a lot of the anglers told us these lakes are so different this week. Randal Tharp, one bait, one technique. Do not listen to a thing we said.
Well, the only time we've ever been proved wrong. That's a remarkable record. Hey, you know, we talked a lot about the little set two between him and Matt Herren out on the water there. And do they have lingering feelings about that? Well, we sat him down and talked to him.
From my point of view, I was kind of saving that stretch for later in the day. I'd caught him there the first day, and I went in a little pocket, and I think that's when Matt pulled up on the stretch because he didn't see me at all.
We each weren't aware that we both fished the same stretch. I led the tournament on day 1, and I caught my key fish on that stretch, but I caught him in the morning. He come in the afternoon.
I called Matt the day after it happened just because I just wanted to get a clear conscience about it. And you know, I apologize because I didn't know he was there. I don't think he knew I was there. I think if I would have seen his boat the first day of the tournament, it probably would have went down a little different that day.
And look, and neither angler did anything wrong. That happens in night tournaments, regional tournaments, national tournaments across the whole country. And it was a case of hopscotch done gone wrong.
We're just keeping it real. As a public service, we showed that to you. We're going someplace that we've been many, many times before. Wheeler Lake on the Tennessee River. Is it going to be anything different than what we've seen before? We've kind of seen two sides of it.
Man, yeah, here's the problem with Wheeler right now. There's going to be fish shallow. There's going to be some fish getting out deep. A lot of scattered out fish means a lot of different techniques.
All right, it'll be a good one. Wheeler Lake next time on the Bassmaster Elite Series.
That's her, baby. Come on. Yes! Yeah! Bull Shoals, a Norfork Bassmaster Elite Series champion, Randal Tharp!